Hi, I'm Crystal, and today I'm going to be making a couple of cute mini albums, shaped albums, using Dollar Tree items. So all you really need to make a shaped mini album is a matching shape for the front cover and the back cover. So I picked up this wood hanging decor. I think it's supposed to be an arrow, but I think this shape looks like a little house. And that puts the holes on the right side to make a binding for a mini album. So I picked up two of those, one for the front cover, one for the back cover, and I also picked up a package of shaped decor sheets. You get 36 of these apple shapes. It's lightweight paper, and I'm sure they're meant for a bulletin board in a classroom, but I thought that would also be a perfect shaped album. So for both of these, I started out by cutting a jig. So this is just a piece of cardboard from a food box that I cut down to be just a tiny bit smaller than the cover is going to be. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a little bit of that blue outline all the way around, and I've marked the hole placement on the jig. So you certainly could use the rest of the decor sheets to be pages in this mini album. I think that would be cute. But I didn't really want to have that red apple image on the front and only be able to use the back of the sheets. So I'll save the rest of the apples for some other use. What I did to make the cover was take this apple and use some Mod Podge to attach it to some lightweight cardboard, and then I coated it with Mod Podge again on top of that. You can pick that up in a 2-ounce size at Dollar Tree, and it's really a pretty good price, and it makes a very sturdy cover. So I also put an apple on the back of the cover. Now this image is not quite symmetrical, and so I did paint the edge of the cardboard using blue paint and flip that leaf around just to try to make it match. And there I've got my copy paper pages that I cut using my jig, and then I've got a back cover that I did the exact same way by applying the apple to a little bit of lightweight cardboard. So I thought that made a super cute little album. It's just the perfect size. You can tuck it inside a junk journal or use it on its own. It could be a tag flip. I just thought that was a really cute little project. Super inexpensive, and you can really source just about everything from Dollar Tree. Then I turned my attention to the wooden decor pieces, and I also needed a jig for this, and so I used my food box to cut my jig and mark the hole placement to line up with the holes that are already in that wooden decor element, so that my pages are going to be just a tiny bit smaller than the piece of wood, and the holes in the pages will line up with the holes that are already in the wood element. So I think the jig is key to making these little mini albums and doing it successfully. But once you have it, it's super easy to cut out the pages or do whatever you need to do and have everything line up. So once I've got my pages, you can see that they line up with this pattern that I made, and they line up nicely with this cover being just a little bit smaller so they won't hang outside of my mini album. Now to decorate the wood pieces, I used some tempura paint, Prang brand tempura paint. Dollar Tree price on this is actually very competitive, much better than I've found per ounce at any other retailer. The Mod Podge price is just pretty good, but the tempura paint price is excellent. And I really love tempura paint. It's so easy to work with. It's so easy to clean up. It's so forgiving. And I just am really trying to embrace it again because it's easier to work with in a lot of ways than acrylic paint. You can use your heat tool on this wood element with no fear. It doesn't damage the wood, doesn't make the paint bubble, and it makes the project go by really fast. I don't like drying time, so this type of paint is perfect for me. Once I have my gingerbread baked, then it's time to do a little bit of decorating, and for that I used a white acrylic paint pen. Now Dollar Tree does carry these theoretically, but I've never seen one in my own Dollar Tree, so the one that I used I sourced from Temu. And the only thing about acrylic paint pens is that you kind of have to commit to using the paint pen regularly until you use it up. Otherwise it does tend to get kind of clogged and dried up. But I thought that made a cute little gingerbread house with this little freehand design. And I've got a similar design on the back of my little mini album. And then inside I've got my copy paper pages, and I just used the jute twine that came with the decor element to make my hinges for this mini book. So I thought these were fun, quick projects using very inexpensive supplies. Really had a lot of fun doing it, and I thank you for joining me today.